Oh God. Oh.
I'm gonna leave it in.
Oh God. I may have forgotten to eat vegetables for about a week, and it has had horrible consequences on my health and well-being.
Drink a
Eat,
V8.
eat your veggies, kids. Eat your veggies. All right. Oh my God. Yeah, let's leave that. Anyway. Welcome to Consume Content, where we help you find the best content to consume. I'm Josh, and this is Matt.
I'm Matt.
Today we will be discussing The Mayor of Kingstown, available on Paramount Plus, which I had just canceled, and because I'd run out of things to watch on it. And then as I canceled it, I realized it had several more things on it that I wanted to watch, but it's too goddamn late.
You have a thing about we were sharing files for this show on Dropbox.
Yeah.
And then you had one issue with it. We were like, where are these files? They're not loading. And then you canceled it.
It's a weird issue. Anyway.
It was the only source we had to connect that you had already paid for. You see? I'm sensing
it was $20 a month anyway. And remember, yes, there's a pattern. But if you want to join the discussion about, which services you should keep versus which you should cancel,
I'm so mad.
Don't be mad at me.
Just finish up. Hurry up.
If you want to join the discussion, you can jump on our Discord server called the Group Chat. It'll be linked in the episode description, as it usually is. I'm very gassy today.
And soon, at least, some social media.
Yeah.
Well, we have a TikTok.
Yeah.
We have YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start some tweeting pretty soon.
Yeah.
We'll see what else.
Work is slow for me right now. This is my fault. It's my fault. We've been on a month-long hiatus because I've been super busy.
It's not just you. I just hide under the convenient Josh excuses like, oh, Josh wanted to call it off this week. But if you hadn't, I was going to. So no. It's been a month since our last recording.
Yes.
We were trying to do one or more a week, but life got in the way.
Yeah, we're gonna get back on it. We're gonna continue to build our social media presence.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. It's past, everybody. This is probably going to come out on the 9th tomorrow, and for audio listeners. And we're just going to jump right into it. I'm so tired from work, but work is finally slowing down. And I was having a conversation with a coworker. Just casually, I just remembered, oh, right, Mayor of Kingstown was a show I liked. It's a show I thoroughly enjoyed on Paramount Plus. That I forgot why I even signed up for Paramount Plus. There's some other show, probably Star Trek stuff, right? Love Star Trek. But Mayor of Kingstown, starring Jeremy Renner, and I always forget this other guy's name. His name is Chandler, or what is it?
Chandler Bing.
Not Chandler Bing. What the hell is his name? Where is he on this list? Okay, I will say he dies in the first episode. So that's probably why he's not like top billing, Jeremy Renner's top billing. What the fuck is his name?
So what is this? Is a TV show on Paramount Plus.
This is a TV show on Paramount Plus. Yes. Spoilers, called Mayor of Kingstown, right?
Okay.
And it is a very how do you say? It's a medieval type of tale. Set in the modern day, right? Could have been, does that make sense? Like the structure.
No. How medieval? How?
The power structure of this town is very medieval. There's a town. There's a mayor, quote unquote, of Kingstown, right? Kingstown is the name of the town. It is a prison town. It's somewhere in America.
Like there's a prison in the town?
There's like 3 prisons in the town, I believe.
Oh.
Something like that. Like the economy, the local economy is based off of these prisons, right? And it's about this small kingdom, essentially. A pseudo kingdom, not a real kingdom, but it's about like who really runs things in Kingstown. And what's this guy's name? Chandler. The hell is his name? All right.
I'm going to look it up.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm on IMDb right now. For some reason, he's not on the top of the list, right?
Yeah, but I'm angry now.
Yeah, what the hell is his name? What the hell is his name? Jesus Christ! Like Chandler, he's in the Godzilla movies. You know, the more recent ones. He's Kyle Chandler. Kyle Chandler.
I told you I was gonna find it first.
You son of a bitch. Anyway, so Kyle Chandler, he is the quote unquote mayor of Kingstown, right? Because he is the town's underworld fixer. Whenever someone has a problem, you go to Kyle Chandler's character, right? You got, unpaid parking tickets, you accidentally killed a hooker, those sort of things.
What?
Those sort of things, There's
those are two very different things.
But that's the scale. That's the scale, right? So he's constantly solving problems for the cops, for the criminals, for the different gangs of criminals, right? Because it's all about keeping the peace. That's the whole point of all of their work, right? They think they're good guys. Kyle Chandler's character thinks of himself as a good guy, as a noble guy, very charismatic, gets everybody to get along, right? And everybody pays him for this, He charges fees for solving these problems. Well, he dies in the first episode, right? He dies in the first episode. Spoilers, right? Because the show's not really about him.
We don't do spoilers.
For the first episode, I will. Because it's kind of important that he dies. When he dies, that's when the story actually begins. Because Jeremy Renner, who is the star of the show, he is the younger brother of Kyle Chandler's character, right? And he is...
But now I want Kyle Chandler to be the lead.
Too bad. Kyle Chandler's dead. He's dead. They shot him. He's dead. Right? Now, Jeremy Renner has been by his side the entire time. Right? Jeremy Renner is not the typical Jeremy Renner you are familiar with from many of his movies. Right? He's more of an angrier, more violent Hawkeye, if anything. No kids, no wife, no family, nothing like that. He just has his brother, and he just does whatever his brother says. So
he's more Green Arrow.
More Green Arrow, right? But like, if Kyle Chandler says we gotta go bury a body, then he's like, all right, I'll grab the show. He's more like Jeremy Renner from The Town. Now that I remember, so he's more like Jeremy Renner from The Town without the Boston accent, And so
sure, yeah.
think of Jeremy Renner like that. Drinking a bit of water. But his brother dies, and his brother was the nice one, right? And he was the mean one. And now he has to take over as the town's fixer. He has to take over and sort of solve all these problems as they come up between all the various members of the criminal community, right? There's the Russian mob, there's the skinheads, there's the Mexicans, there's the black people. Well, I should say, I don't know what the black people call themselves. I'm pretty sure they call them black people. Well, no, I mean like in terms of a gang, right? Like the skinheads or like the neo-Nazis are like skinheads, right? There's Mexican. But
that's a derogatory term. Like that's just a slang term other people use to refer to them, right?
Exactly. But like I don't think there's a term for like there's just essentially there's one black guy named Bunny, right? And he sits on a lawn all day and he sells drugs from a cooler on that lawn. And he is in charge of that gang. But the FBI watch him all day and he sells drugs from a cooler. Like that's just Bunny. And he's a guy that is frequently visited because he's like under house arrest, right? So he can't move, he can't make any moves himself. So he just gives orders from this lawn, from this porch, right? And Jeremy Renner's character has to visit him and talk to him and sort of like, get clues as to what's happening and figure out what's gonna happen. How do I get around this problem? I'm looking at clips of it now. It's a prison town. It's all about maintaining the peace between all the gangs and between the gangs and the cops. It's a very nice. Okay, nice is not the right word because it's a very violent show, but it's a very good show because it's, if you like that sort of like medieval power structure of a monarch, so to speak, trying to keep all of it together, it's very good because this is a kingdom that's crumbling, that's like approaching civil war, but it's set in modern day America, and so it's a very enjoyable show, in my opinion. There's a lot I'm leaving out because obviously I don't want to spoil anything. Who's the director of this? Let's see here, creator Taylor Sheridan. I forget what else he's made. And then
he directed the first episode,
obviously, and then.
But there's others.
There are others. Known for he was a writer on Hell or High Water, Wind River. That makes sense. Sicario, Yellowstone. Okay, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. This guy does a lot of crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, without remorse. Okay. Those that wish me dead. Yeah, okay. So this guy writes a lot of crime. He's pretty good at it. No wonder I've seen his name a lot. Do you have any questions?
Well, so it's about kind of like the underground, the crime world of this town.
Yes.
Does this town exist as like just normal people as well? Like, do we get a different perspective, or is it just kind of like a Godfather following this, like these families? And
it's more of a Godfather type deal, but it's almost strictly from Jeremy Renner's perspective. You know, you don't see much beyond his perspective, other than his mother. You know, so his mother,
his mom,
his mother, and his brother. So it's about this family, really, right? And they're all involved at different levels, right? So Jeremy Renner, of course, is the quote-unquote mayor of Kingstown, the real mayor. His other brother, his youngest brother, is a cop, right? And then his mother is this. She's a very Shakespearean character, I want to say, just because she is there to constantly, somewhat like berate Jeremy Renner's character and Kyle Chandler's character to remind them that they are wicked men. Like, she's almost like the old witch that shows up.
They're naughty and she spanks them.
No. She's like the old witch that shows up to tell them they're cursed, you know? And she does, that's sort of her metaphysical role, if that's a wrong word. But, you know, her role within the narrative. But sometimes you'll see her go to a prison, go to the women's prison and give and teach classes, you know? That's what she does in her time. And one of the inmates asks her for a favor because they know who her son is, the quote-unquote mayor of Kingstown. And she says, don't you dare to ever ask me for a favor, or you will be out of this class. She does not want to be involved with her son's activities because her husband did it. Her husband was the town's fixer before them, and it got him killed. And so, you know, they don't get rich from this. You know, they think they're.
What is this role of the fixer? Is that like glorified here? Is it just this hero role, but just to these gangs?
Pretty much, yeah. So like I don't know if
is he a fixer for hire, or is he just does he exist for the good of just the town? Like, who are we rooting for? That
is the moral question, you know, and that's the moral question that the mother presents them, right? Because they are for hire. They're for hire. They just solve problems for criminals and for the police, and they get paid for it. And there's a line in the first episode where the mother says, just because you don't make just because you don't charge a lot of money doesn't mean you're the good guys. Like, that's somehow, like, they, in their own minds, they try to justify what they're doing. Like, they believe they have good reasons for doing this, for doing these things, right? But at the end of the day, they are enabling criminals.
So
But they see it as a way of pacifying criminals. It's
what? So
what's up?
is that like one of the big themes of the show? Is like this moral ambiguity?
Yeah. It's
Does Jeremy Renner struggle with that, or is it
yes.
just us watching him? So he does, and so what's his
Because
motivation to do this? Is it just because that's what he knows?
exactly. That's sort of the problem. He knows nothing else. And he's told several times that like you don't have anything holding you back. You could just leave this town. But he doesn't know anything else. He doesn't know how to do anything else. He doesn't know what he would do if he were to leave, you know? Because there are all these people who are now dependent on him. Like it would have been easier when his older brother was alive. But now his older brother's dead and he has taken responsibility over this town and all the things that happen in it. And so that's where it sort of comes into like he is the unofficial, mayor of Kingstown. He's like this king who's taken the throne reluctantly, and he doesn't know how to get out of it. He could just leave. He could just leave all these people behind, right? But then comes into the question that their own personal belief that they believe that they are keeping some modicum of peace and keeping the gang wars from starting. They believe that they're keeping violence down by solving all these problems. That they believe they're finding diplomatic solutions to these issues.
So is that, if there was a central conflict, would you say that's it? It's his internal struggle, like him trying to justify being this, having like taken on this role in this town?
Yeah, but again, like he doesn't talk much, It's
Oh,
he's
really?
but he's always angry, he's always upset because there are always the thing about it like that moral quandary is always he can never get to it really. Like there's moments when he can think about it, but he can never get to it because there's another fire. Just another emergency always comes up. Always like there's something always pulling his attention away because this happened or that happened and this person got into a fight with that other person, and if this doesn't get solved then these gangs are going to start fighting and things are going to escalate. And towards the end of the first season, I don't want to spoil too much, but the police want something. They want something very, that's not legal. They want something, and they want justice, but they want a sort of like Wild West justice. And in order to do that, they need favors. And he tells them, because he's the town fixer, he knows how all of this works. He tells them that this will cost you later, and you will not be willing to pay the price. That when I tell you your bill is due, you will refuse to pay it, and things will get worse. Violence will break out, and there will be nothing you can do because you will be too stubborn to pay the fee later. And he asks them, and it says he explicitly tells them, do not do this. And then they do it anyway. He tries to work around them, but he knows that they are set on a path towards war for their own personal reasons, and he tries his best to talk everybody out of it, but he can't do it. He just, it doesn't work out that way.
So it sounds like it's not just, there's stories where it's not just one character and like one character's individual conflicts. It's the role they take in the community.
Yeah.
It sounds like that plays a big part. Obviously it's called Mayor of Kingstown. It's him assuming this informal role.
Yeah.
And that's what largely takes place in the show.
Yeah. And it's a role that has existed before him, right? His father did this. So in this town, this is how it's done. If you have a problem, you go to the mayor. So he is the guy to go to. He's the guy that everybody calls because he's inherited the role from from his deceased brother, who inherited it from their father, right? And this is just how things are done, right? And so it's like it's not a. It wouldn't make sense in like any other movie, you know. Well, I suppose it does, right? Like, you can see him, like, if we're comparing to The Godfather, right? I can't pronounce.
Well,
I don't think I. What's up?
The Godfather was just the first thing that came to mind, but I don't know. That seems different because that centers around this family being the lead of an organized crime.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about more of like roles, right? Think of the lawyer in the family, right? The adopted son. I can never pronounce the title that he holds within the family, consigliere or something like that, where he's an advisor.
Consigliere.
Consigliere. And so it's similar to that. Jeremy Renner's position is similar to that, but more freelance, where he's able to interact between all of these different, like he has people that he knows and has built a good relationship with in each of the gangs. And so he's able to go to each of them and broker peace. He's a power broker. Like, he would be a power broker if he actually leveraged any power. But he's really a fixer where he's trying to fix problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really that's it. If I were to compare it to...
Yeah, give me another show or something that's similar. What would you consider the closest...
Have you seen Michael Clayton? It's a George Clooney film.
With Clooney? I don't... Maybe a long time ago. I don't remember it. Probably not.
Yeah. So in Michael Clayton, I don't know. Maybe I should think of a better example because it's almost the exact same thing, but instead of this town, it's Michael Clayton, George Clooney's character, coming up with the moral quandary of what he does for a living, which is a fixer for the rich and famous and powerful. And what he does is I keep using, that's the problem. It's like too close of an example, you know? So in Michael Clayton, when the beginning of the movie, a rich guy, I think it's like a hit and run, right? Or he shoots a guy. And then he needs help, so he calls his lawyers as to what to do. And his lawyers bring in Michael Clayton. And Michael Clayton begins to give him advice. This is what you need to do. This is what's going to happen next. And this is what you need to do. And this is what you need to prepare. And you need to say goodbye to your kids now. And you need to prepare. You need to do all these things to prepare your defense. And
I mean, it's not something we think of, I guess. It's never like been a role that's in the spotlight, but I guess it is kind of a common thing, is like this role of the mysterious fixer. Yeah. And there's some B action movies where that has, Liam Neeson, basically half his movies he plays that role. He's the CIA fixer. He's the NSA fixer. He's just the guy, the loose cannon. Well, yeah. Well, actually, that's what you usually see if you see a fixer type character. It's like an assassin. But in these sorts, in Michael Clayton and in Mayor Kingstown, they're not typically violent. They are about brokering peace, and they are about making deals in order to broker peace. Because violence is typically the last resort, if at all a resort. And I don't think Jeremy Renner kills anybody until like way later in the season. Like, he's definitely more violent than his brother in order to like exercise his authority, but he doesn't kill anybody until like way later, because again, it's about maintaining the peace. But going back to like Michael Clayton, just to finish out that little story in the beginning, the rich guy who shot somebody, he's like, no, I called you. Like, who are you? Are you even a lawyer? I thought you were going to lead my defense. And, like, how can I avoid this altogether? And Michael Clayton is there to tell him, no, I'm the guy who finds you your lawyer and your defense.
and I'm here to tell you it's too late. That like the cops are coming
It's
for you.
too late. I'm the devil.
Basically, it's like, and he calls there's like it's a really good performance from George Clooney. Like his line is like, I'm not. He goes like, I'm not really a lawyer. I'm a janitor. I'm here to clean up your mess. Like that's what he is, right? And so
That
it
seems like a George Clooney thing to say.
yeah, and so that's a good movie too. I would really recommend that movie if you haven't seen it, because
I feel
it is
like
about what's up.
of all actors, I mean he's pretty prevalent in terms of just rolling out big movies, like not blockbusters necessarily, but just he's just had such a long career because he is a good actor. I like him a lot,
Yeah.
but there's so many of those where he's in a movie and it was big that year, but nobody remembers it the year after. But it's decent money, just casual Clooney, just doing a decent job.
Well,
But there's so many movies where it's a man's name. That's the movie, and he stars in it, and he does pretty good. And it's just no, he's got so many of those.
that was a different era, DVD sales were still a thing back then. Just to
Hey,
if we're gonna
whoa, what do you
What?
mean? They still are.
No, they're not. DVD sales were. I remember watching a thing. I guess we'll go on a tangent real quick, but I remember it was a thing where, and this is going back to like the Blockbuster days, right? For the longest time, for decades, since VHS tapes and movie rentals, VHS tapes and DVDs saved movies, right? The only reason like movies of a certain caliber were made was because of rentals and then DVD sales after the fact, right? I was watching a thing where Matt Damon was talking about the financing behind the Candelabra, the movie he did with Michael Douglas, where Michael Douglas plays that pianist, the gay pianist. Jesus Christ, what's his name? Let me look it up.
Do you expect me to take the word pianist seriously?
Yes. And so, Behind the Candelabra is
Bold of you.
about Michael Douglas.
A candelabra. with
Liberace.
a bunch of
Liberace.
pianists sticking.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah, Liberace. Okay.
Liberace. So, Michael Douglas plays Liberace, and Matt Damon plays his young lover, right? And it's supposed to be a romance. Like, the camera work, it's all very soft, right? And Matt Damon was talking about, like, I think, because he had to, like, partially, at least partially, finance this film himself, because it would have cost him at least $50 million to make it, and then, like, and promote it. Because even at the time, like, promotional budgets are crazy expensive, right? And if you're doing, like, a blockbuster movie nowadays, it's like $100 million to get it globally marketed, and that's like your Avengers, your Star Wars, is like at least $100 million just spent on marketing. But those movies, those bigger franchise movies, they have the advantage of toy sales and merchandise sales after the fact, right? Nobody's really gonna buy merchandise of Behind the Candelabra, and
Well, I might buy a candelabra.
maybe, but it's a
if
Steven
it's
Soderbergh
candelabra-
movie. Yeah,
Soderbergh,
it's
interesting.
Soderbergh. Yeah, and so
And
I
what
still
else has Soderbergh?
it's been on my list forever, but basically, like, the financing for he was talking about how, like, you couldn't make it because now with streaming and all that, like, this movie was made in 2013, right? So I think Netflix was new, right? And then DVD sales were plummeting, rentals were plummeting, right? Netflix was really getting started. When did Netflix really start? Because Netflix did DVD sales. My timeline's a little wonky in my head, but he was talking
That's
about
like 2004 or around there.
yeah. But Matt Damon was talking about how increasingly difficult it's become to make smaller films, and because, like, the lack of DVD sales and DVD rentals as time went on, and eventually at this point, like, who the fuck buys a DVD? Not many people.
Redbox does.
Redbox still, some people still get Redboxes. I'm amazed, but look at how downscaled, right? They pick maybe 10 to 30. They got 30 movies in that box, I think, per box, and it's really like a game of math as to like which movies are actually going to work. You can't have an entire store full of DVDs anymore. So the business model's changed dramatically, and they just can't make small stuff like that anymore. But all that small stuff moved over to streaming, and now it's all being made as miniseries and TV shows and like one-off movies. So the streaming services are just making them now, Like, let me pull up YouTube real quick and go to Rotten Tomato trailers. They I don't know, I've seen this channel. I subscribe to one channel on YouTube for movie trailers, and I think they've been purchased like twice, and now they're Rotten Tomatoes trailers. I don't even remember what they are now, right? But
why do you go to a specific place for movie trailers? They're just you look them up on YouTube.
It's just easier because this one channel, I'm subscribed to it, so it gets updated into my feed on YouTube, and my subscriptions page, so all the trailers just show up there automatically because I don't actively look for them. I don't go to the homepage all that often. I don't type in trailers. I just go subscribe. It's just easier that way, right? So like, look at this. I'm looking at the trailer for the Pale Blue Eye, right? Starring Christian Bale and the guy who played Harry Potter's cousin. What's his name? Hold on, let me scrub through the trailer real quick. Yeah, Dudley. The guy who played Dudley, right? From director Scott Cooper.
So Dudley and Darth Vader.
What? Darth Vader? Christian Bale, Batman.
Oh, I was thinking Hayden Christensen.
No, not Hayden Christensen. Sorry, Christian Bale. And then, what is this guy's name? Because he's a really good actor.
There's a cat right here.
Right there? On your screen or
no? On yours. This is you, right? You're to my.
No, I'm on your other side. Yeah.
Cat way over there.
Oh yeah. There's Taco right over here. There's Taco. I also.
Oh wait, so Taco's okay?
Taco's okay.
You never updated me, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. Taco's okay. She may have like a bad tooth, but Taco's okay. It's the other cat that didn't make it.
Oh my god.
And so.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry about that.
But I bought a printer and I bought sticker paper and I made a sticker of a cat.
Oh god. I was wondering what that was.
You can't see, but there's a big sticker of a cat on a box. Anyway.
That's one big sticker?
It's one big sticker. It's an 8. It was like an 8x11 sheet. Anyway, so Christian Bale is starring in this film, Batman. And he plays a detective. Go figure. And
Batman.
And it's like this suicide has occurred at West Point University, right? The famous military school, academy, right? And Edgar Allan Poe is there, right? And this guy Dudley plays Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe, right?
Wait. Did Edgar Allan Poe go to West Point?
He did. I Googled it after, and he actually he was in the military. He was like, he tried to like get out of his assignment early so that way he could go to West Point Academy. Like he was like a sergeant major in an artillery unit. Like it's actually really weird. Like
he was in the military, but he wanted to then go to West Point afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was like a 5-year assignment, and then he sort of like cut it short after 3. Right? It's weird. It's weird. So he had, I think, like an adopted father. Like he had some sort of estranged father figure, right? And he ran away from home, couldn't support himself. So he joined the military under a different name, right? And then when he wanted to get out early, he spoke to his commander and told him the truth and what happened. His commander wouldn't let him leave until he sort of patched things up with his father figure. Like I think it was like a stepfather or something. And it was happening very slowly. Like then his mother died, and then that's sort of what led them to like make up. And then after that, his commander let him go. But he was like a sergeant major or something in an artillery unit after 3 years in the military. and he wanted to go to West Point, which again a military camp, presumably to continue his military career, because at this point he's put out one collection of poems, and only 50 books were printed, and it was an abysmal failure. So Edgar Allan Poe's really just going towards his military career at this point. But this takes place during that, so I guess this is like a fictionalized thing. I don't know how much of it is based in truth, obviously, but there's a suicide. And then there's like someone hung themselves, but then their heart was carved out. And so the detective has been invited to investigate what has happened, who's taken the student's heart.
The guy from Indiana Jones, Kalima.
This is a very different part of the world, and it's a very different year. It's about 100 or so years before. Christian Bale. What is this guy's name? Yeah, Christian Bale is in it. The guy who plays Dudley, right? There's like ciphers and puzzles. Harry Melling.
Just call him Dudley. Oh, that's right.
Harry Melling, right? He plays Edgar Allan Poe. And
I can see that, actually.
It looks good. It's a detective thriller set in the 1800s, right? It's a lot of snow, really cold. Cinematography looks great. It's on Netflix.
Oh.
I would love to see this in a theater. I would love to see this in theater if they Netflix put it out in a theater. But
I forgot what your original point was. It was us talking about movies versus streaming. Jesus.
Yeah. Sorry. We got on a tangent. We got into another tangent about Edgar Allan Poe.
Well then, speaking of, did you see Glass Onion?
I did not. Yet.
Okay.
Have you?
Because, yeah, I have. But it was only in theaters for a week.
God damn it.
Yeah, so now you can't see it in theaters. I don't think you can.
God damn it. Because that's a Netflix movie too.
It's a Netflix movie, but they wanted a theatrical release for... Well, I think because of the popularity and just like because Knives Out was a legendary picture or something. It was a different studio, and obviously that one had a theatrical release.
Yeah.
I think because of certain ties to that or maybe a contract issue.
Yeah.
They decided to have a theatrical release, but only for a week.
Yeah.
During Thanksgiving.
Because sometimes they'll do a theatrical run just so it could like participate in the Oscars, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll do that.
Something like that.
So it could be considered for awards.
Because Coda won Best Picture. It never aired in theaters, did it?
No, I don't think Coda did. No, this was like a rule. This was a rule from a few years ago. Like from a few years ago. It was a whole thing where people were like mad that like Netflix couldn't get considered back when Netflix was still like, you know, more popular in people's eyes.
When it was the Golden Boy.
Yeah, when it was the Golden Boy.
Wait. How far is Montebello from you?
Pretty far. Why?
Oh, okay. That's where I saw it, and I was like, it'd be funny if I saw it like right outside your house.
No, it wouldn't have been close at all. But I still need to see Black Panther 2. Like I've been so busy.
Wow.
I haven't made time to go to a movie theater. I really want to go.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to catch up. I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna see The Menu. I want to, but
yeah, that's
probably just have to. It's out now, but I don't know. I'll be able to see it in theaters because I need to see Violent Night. I need to see it.
We're gonna have to go take Justin. He really wants to see that. He loves those types of movies. Yeah, we'll have to take Justin, and then
heck yeah,
you, me, and Justin. We're also gonna have to go see Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear. What is Cocaine Bear?
You haven't heard of Cocaine Bear? So it's directed by Elizabeth Banks, the actress.
Oh boy!
Right? And
wait, no, I haven't heard of this.
It's got a big CGI bear, right? And it's based.
Oh, I did see about.
It's a slasher movie about a bear that ate a brick of cocaine.
Yeah, it gets into a whole brick, and then it just fucking goes ham on people, right?
It's got a lot of stars in it, you know. I
did see about this.
A lot of people freaking out about a black bear attacking because they don't do that, and it's yeah. It's Ray Liotta's in it. Rest in peace.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then
is that the last thing he was in?
Maybe. Who knows? You know, he was a working man. You know,
he was.
He was a working man. He was in a lot of stuff before he passed. And then, but yeah, so Cocaine Bear is gonna have to be on our list to go see. It's Cocaine Bear. It's what else are you gonna call it?
Yeah.
It's a Cocaine Bear.
I'm
right?
down. Yeah, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
there's a bunch of I don't know. I'm You and I both are into you were in school for writing, but I we're both big on movies. I think we're both much more on the extreme side of the scale
Uh-huh.
where we admire the art. We prefer going to the theater, getting that experience. Or
Mm-hmm.
at least we value that over the convenience of watching something at home, just on
Yeah.
streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Glass Onion was a pretty good
Mm-hmm.
test to see. I don't know. We're still in a weird place because of COVID, but
Yeah.
it was interesting to see how well it did, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that there was only a week of time. Because I made sure to go
Mm-hmm.
see it
Yeah.
because I wanted to see it in a theater, which I'm really upset about. I should have gone to see it again
Mm-hmm.
because the theater I ended up seeing it at wasn't that great,
Yeah.
and I'm just, I never get to see it again. Same thing happened to Top Gun.
Oh
I
yeah.
fucking loved that movie. It was
Yeah.
so good,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to see it again,
Mm-hmm.
but I missed my chance.
Well, they're gonna
Now,
do a second run.
I need to make sure it's in the right kind of theater though.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna
Because if
do a
it's
second
in
run.
the movie I saw Glass Onion at
Uh-huh.
the theater, I could tell the projector was fading. I don't think they were using lasers yet. So
Mhm.
their projector, the bulb must have been dimming. It was
Oh,
just
boy.
washed out. It was a shame.
Damn. But yeah, so no, they are doing. I heard somewhere that they're going to do a second run of Top Gun Maverick,
Bless you.
and then
I'm not surprised by that at all. And honestly, I'm just really excited because I really want another chance to go see it
yeah,
in a theater.
I would love to see that movie again. God, that's a good movie.
It was so good. I just can't stop talking about it. It's so good.
I'm such a sucker, right? Charlie and I were shit talking Avatar, James Cameron Avatar so much. We love shit talking that movie, right?
Dude.
And then we got into this argument over like there's this what?
You heard about? Oh no, you go first. Go first.
Sorry, yeah, you tell me. Maybe there's clearly something I don't know, but it's like there's this clip that went around of like this like he's in a wheelchair at the beginning of the movie. Like there was criticism about like some of the CGI and some of like the design of the city, right? But that's a deleted scene we found out, and so we just wanted to watch that. We wanted to watch the beginning, right? And then we put it on, and then we just didn't stop watching the movie. We just at a certain point we did walk away, like we had to go do other things, but it's just like it was just on. The movie was just on it at a certain point.
That's the James Cameron effect.
That's such bullshit. And now I'm gonna like Charlie and I would like complain about like it's gonna make a $2 billion because it's James Cameron. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows why everyone's gonna go see it. Just everyone's gonna go see it. And I'm just like in the back of my mind, it arose the thought like it came to the front of my mind where I realized, oh wait, I'm gonna go see it. Like I'm gonna go see it.
Oh no, wait, that's me too.
Yeah, like I will go see it because everybody. I was telling Charlie, like everybody knows it's a James Cameron movie, and for some reason that means something to everybody. So everybody knows this is a once in a few years type of thing, and you're gonna go watch it because it's an event.
Okay, if you're accounting for his total number of like box office hits, because everyone's always comparing just the number one earner. It's always Avatar or Avengers now.
Yeah.
Endgame, whichever one. They're always back and
Star
forth.
Wars for a hot minute. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you consider the percentage of his movies that are in just that top 10,
Yeah.
that's why everybody knows it. And that's why it means something to everybody, because everybody has been touched by one of those movies.
Yeah, because everybody knows, or everybody at least feels, that if he puts out a movie, it's gonna be a banger because he doesn't put out shit.
It's just good. It's just good.
He only puts out solid shit. And Charlie brought up this whole thing about like how he was really going for like alien things, right? Alien sounds, alien designs, and then at a certain point he would just scrap like these alien things because they were too alien. And I'm like, that's the trick, Charlie. Like, he still needs things to be familiar and recognizable so that way people feel comfortable watching it. And it's just like, at a certain point, like, Alien is too alien. And he's like, fucking throw it out. Throw it out the window. Give us Last of the Mohicans with blue people.
right. That's what he does, though.
Yeah. He hits the high notes. He hits the high
Yeah,
notes.
but no, it's not just the high notes, because there's been so many movies
Mm-hmm.
that have hit high notes that have like really peaked at certain levels of, I don't know, just certain emotions, certain connections to like the mass appeal. But I think James Cameron knows how to sweep up the whole bottom range.
He does.
All the valleys of what people enjoy about movies, as in the valley, like things people don't like.
Yeah.
He knows how to clear that out. I think he has unlocked the secret to like making, like you said, a solid movie. It's not like he's going for the biggest, for the award winners, the highest, possible drama. He just knows how to really narrow down, like focus on whatever people seem to enjoy.
I think you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. Go on.
I was gonna tell you, I thought you were talking about the new movie Way of Water.
Yeah.
I already have my tickets, and I knew I was gonna see it no matter what, because why not? I have the pass. But I heard some things.
What?
I heard some things. I heard this is better than anything else. I heard this is a good fucking movie.
God damn. Because you know what?
It's weird. How is it possible? How? It's a sequel.
I don't know what that movie's going to be about. I know, like, there's only one plot point I know from the trailers. The humans are back and they're hunting us. What's going to happen? Right? He needs to, like...
They go swim with the seahorses, obviously.
They're going to go learn how to ride seahorses, right? But what else is going to happen? Is it going to be like like, it can't be... Like, there's so much they can't do. I don't fucking know. That's the thing I'm getting at. I don't know. What's it going to be, Matt? What's it going to be?
You don't need to know.
Exactly. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. I don't need to know.
I don't think we knew what the first movie was going to be about when that came out. And that was also in a weird place. I remember all of these details about it because, I mean, I liked the movie just fine, the first movie. I actually just rewatched it because of the new movie coming out. So I was like, yeah, let's rewatch it.
Is this his first sequel?
No, because
he's done sequels to other franchises, but is this his first sequel of his own movie franchise?
It can't be.
I can't think of another sequel he's done.
It can't be.
Look it up.
It can't.
Matt's looking it up, folks. Matt's looking it up. He's scanning the internet.
Did he do The Abyss? God damn, that was a good movie too.
He needed an excuse to go down there. He just really wanted to go down there, remember? Mariana's Trench.
That's right. He just really wanted to go down there. Damn, he's made a lot of movies.
Well, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I'm assuming we're just interested in director.
Not like executive produced or anything, you know?
Well, he's been a writer and producer on some, not necessarily executive producer.
Okay.
But
we can take out producer. Just remove that. Right?
Yeah.
Writer, director is what because we're talking about creatively.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I mean, yeah, it's just like specials off of movies he's done.
Yeah.
Nothing. Did he do Terminator Salvation?
No, he did not do Terminator Salvation. It would have been a much better movie. Like,
it wasn't that bad a movie.
Was not that bad of a movie.
It did have Christian Bale, so it's got his fingerprints all over it.
It did have Christian Bale.
No, it's just credits for like video game characters. Like they're just crediting his characters. Weird.
That's so weird.
True Lies, Terminator 2. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't think he has done his own sequel. Like, at least not like at this scale.
Like, it's so weird, you know? Like, after
But
Titanic... What's up?
Apparently, it's a good thing. I heard the movie's going to be really good.
I hope so. I hope it's fun. You know, I think after Titanic, I think he just figured out how to, like, just get because if you watch... I was watching Avatar, and there was nothing unfamiliar about the movie, right? Which is probably one of its largest criticisms, that it's wholly unoriginal, right? But that
you mean Pocahontas with blue people?
Yeah, Pocahontas with blue people. But that's not a bad thing if you do all of it right. Like, yet Charlie and I were still like, unobtainium, But it's the banter. It's all there. They're all caricatures. It's all like classical theater. You know, these are like like every form of theater has its caricatures. You know, whether it be Japanese or European or British strictly, and that sort of story, right, is full of American caricatures, right? The greedy businessman, again, Sigourney Weaver being the smart woman that nobody listens to. You have Stephen Lang as like the evil colonel out to kill them Indians.
With the big scar
With
on
the
his
scar.
face.
They eat your eyeballs for jujubes. Like, fucking
My
love
job
that.
is to keep you alive. I will not succeed.
I love that. Like, he's so good. He
was really good at it.
Oh my god, so entertaining. Jujubes.
We'll chew you up and spit you out.
Spit you out your first day in Pandora. You ain't gonna survive this. And it's fucking great. Oh my god. And then Jake Sully. What a great fucking name for a main character. For indigenous Jake Sully for a native people to make fun of, right? Jake Sully.
Jake Sully.
Jake Sully.
Sully. Yeah.
Oh,
good one.
Like,
I wish they had made fun of his accent. That's one of my biggest complaints, and I know it doesn't make the movie any worse for me. But that guy, Sam Worthington, is too Australian. Yeah. He can't not be Australian.
Oh yeah, it definitely cracks. It cracks through. Oh my god! But what were we talking? What's up?
Did you hear about the Matt Damon thing? The Matt Damon of it all.
What about
in Avatar? James Cameron approached Matt Damon to be the lead, to be Jake Sully first.
And Matt Damon said no. I think
he said no. But he offered Matt Damon like. I don't have the number.
Oh yeah, a shit ton of money.
20% of gross or something like.
Oh yeah, and he said no.
An astronomical amount of money. Yeah. Because the movie went on to make $1 billion.
Oh yeah, it was, and then Matt Damon. I saw the interview with Matt Damon where he spoke about that, where he's just like, yeah, he offered me like 10%, and clearly I didn't take it.
He would have been the richest actor in the world, the best paid actor in history if he had taken it.
Would have been. Why did he say no? Right?
I think he just had other projects at the time. Yeah. I don't think he was opposed to it. He just couldn't take on another big one right now.
Oh my god.
Or right then. But
you don't say no to James Cameron, okay?
Apparently you do. Yeah. And then you just suffer.
You lose out on billions of dollars.
On $100 million at least, yeah.
Yeah. But again, like that's also a franchise that like made its money back and then some. Like, that was just $1 billion from movie tickets, right? That had DVD sales, that had merchandise sales, that had like that movie is still, I think. Ironically, it was on Paramount Plus when we were trying to watch it, and I had to like rent it for like $4 somewhere else, and it was it was weird. Anyway.
It sure sounds like you're gonna pay for Paramount Plus again.
Ugh, I'm paying because I don't have it. Jesus, but who knows? But yeah, what were we talking about originally? Mayor of Kingstown. Yeah, Mayor of Kingstown. Pretty solid show about crime. And
yeah, it's just I don't know. What? I'm sure I'd get into it if I just sit down and start watching it right now. But I just don't feel in the mood for a big crime TV show, a big crime thriller. I've never been opposed to any crime story.
That's okay.
But I don't know.
I like a lot of crime stuff. That's just me.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Hasn't it been half of your list on this
What?
show so far?
No. Let me look at the episode lists. The episode list, right? Let's see here. First one, horror show, right? Second one was you. Okay. Big Monkey, Kong Island. No, Skull Island. Zombies in feudal Korea. There's no crime there. Well, there is. And then let's see
I'm waiting
here.
for Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo's in there. Yeah, but that's Fargo. It's one show, right? And then, I did start What We Do in the Shadows, though. Fucking hilarious. I did start that. I have to continue.
We should do an episode where we just go over the shows and stuff that we gave a try and like.
God, it's almost like that show's like almost too much. Like we didn't even make it through an episode, but like I was just crying, laughing, and it's fucking.
It just gets better. It just gets better. Wait, then, did you die at Colin Robinson's introduction?
I did. I did. It was, most vampires are energy vampires. You probably like my mom cracked up because it was on. We were playing in the living room. My mom cracked up when he goes, "You probably know an energy vampire." And then it cuts to the office scene where he works. Oh my god.
Yeah, it cuts to an episode of The Office.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then he's just boring people to death, and then the camera just pans to him, and he's and his eyes glow. I love that. I can't get enough of that.
Oh my god, so good. All right, Columbo. There he is. Okay, there's Columbo.
Columbo.
That's 2, right? Golden Kamuy, right? And then
Golden Kamuy.
Golden, you son of a bitch. Anyway. Crime, I like crime, right? I've watched a lot of cop shows, right? It's so bad that it's all fictional, you know? It's fucking terrible.
Well, I don't... Yeah, I get it. I love a good crime show.
Love good crime.
Well.
Mm-hmm. Good crime.
Yeah, I guess I just have other things on my mind right now.
That's okay.
I want to watch... It's the holidays. I want to watch the big action epics, the big, Avatar, and well, we're gonna see Violent Night.
We're gonna see Violent Night. I'm watching a lot of trash right now, and when I say trash, I mean YouTube. I'm just watching a lot of YouTube.
Well, speaking of, actually, I kept thinking of things that I've been watching, and I'm wondering what should be my episode next week.
That's a good question.
Because I watched The Bear.
Okay.
The Bear was very good.
I still haven't seen that, so you can tell me about that.
But I'm also watching Andor.
Oh, yeah. Andor's great. Oh, my God. Have you not finished it?
It's so fucking good. No, because I just got too busy. Didn't have a chance. But now I'm finally finishing it up. And it just keeps getting better.
I lost sleep. I lost sleep over that show.
Exactly. It's so good. But I'm wondering if it's too big. I don't think everyone knows about it. I don't think everyone's seen it. Does it fit our model? Well, it doesn't matter because we both have seen it. Well, I will soon have seen the whole thing, but still.
I think we should still talk about Andor. It's just that fucking good, right? But I think most people have not seen it. I think Star Wars fans have seen it. Anybody who's a Star Wars fan has seen it, but it doesn't have the same mass market appeal as a mainline Star Wars film. And then because of the sequels, right? A lot of people have given up on Star Wars. And I feel like just Andor's just like, get back over here.
It's going to bring them back.
Just get back over here. Because Andor's so fucking good. But Andor...
I stopped.
What's up?
Yeah, I watched the first half. I stopped after episode 6. And you know which episode 6 is.
I forgot, but go on.
No. You know which one it is.
Is it the ending of the prison or the beginning of the prison?
No, it's before the prison.
Before the prison. Okay, yeah.
You'll.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Look it up. But
yeah. Episode the heist. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so good. I've got 4 episodes left. I think I'm 2/3 of the way through. But yeah, it's really good, and I've heard the finale was just so good, and I'm gonna.
It's great.
Watch it very soon. It's in the next couple of days. But there was something else too. But yeah, so we have some contenders, some things to tease.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe we'll fit them both in next week.
Yeah. No, Andor's great. I think. I forgot what I was going to say about Andor, but it's just great. It's a great show. Oh, Andor brings up, excuse me, an interesting discussion where people were talking about how for Andor, it was really important that they brought on writers and directors who did not like Star Wars or did not know anything about Star Wars, which is how they were able to make Andor, which is so different from Star Wars, which
very
is
different.
Which I'm not sure if that's true, if that correlation is causation, but
I
the
can
opposite.
feel it.
You
I
can
think
feel it.
I think I recognize it. It is so different, and I can tell it's coming from different sources, like people who traditionally know how to write other stories, but all you have to do is overlay it with Star Wars. Just
It's wonderful.
Just dress up the bad guys in a certain way, dress up the story, the world, the ships they're in a different way, and you got Star Wars. Just bam, you're solid. It's so good.
But the opposite is said about Karate Chop. The opposite is said about other shows like the upcoming season of The Witcher that's going to replace Henry Cavill with Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Right? They were talking about how because they have writers who don't love the book series, that it's a problem because now they're going to make content that is, not faithful to the source material, and they believe it's going to be a bad thing. Show's not even out yet. The season's not even out yet. I don't like Liam Hemsworth as Geralt.
I think he's not the worst choice, but yeah, I think everyone's just too in love with Henry Cavill.
I think he's a weird choice. I need to see it. I need to see it to believe it.
I think it would be fine. You just kind of need, because he's just really tall, big movie star looking guy. I think that's fine. They're gonna put him in the wig and everything. But we didn't really see Henry Cavill that well as Geralt. But after he put everything on and he was in the role and we actually saw him, everyone fell in love.
I would agree.
But it's also because I think people just love Henry Cavill so much.
I think Henry Cavill really just accepted the character of Geralt as just like, Geralt, he's definitely angrier than Geralt in the game. Like, Geralt in the game is just like all the time. And then Henry Cavill as Geralt is like face scrunched Geralt.
Yeah, it works better though, because
it does.
You can't have someone who's just too angry, but you're spending 80 hours with him, making his choices for him in a game. I don't know. It would maybe get too tired, but in a TV show, he has full license to just carry this character anywhere he wants.
Yeah. All right. Well, we haven't run out of tangents, but it's about time we wrap it up.
Well, no, we're just pushing them to next week.
There'll be more topics, more shows, and more tangents next week on the Consume Content podcast.
Hopefully next week.
We're going to stick to it this time. I will have some more time to hopefully record a few episodes. Everybody can build up our backlog so that way we don't have a whole month-long hiatus again. But as our script instructs us to say, I think we could call it there. Hopefully we've convinced you to check out Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount Plus, but get it wherever you can. If you enjoyed this podcast, consider following us. Consider joining the Discord channel. It will be linked in the description. We will be uploading to YouTube as fast as we can, as soon as we make time. But you typically find us on Spotify or wherever you can find podcasts, except iTunes, because iTunes sucks. This has been Consume Content, where we help you consume content. We hope you'll consume this content. Are we going to rewrite that?
No, we already tried.
Well. We can't come up with anything better.
No, you just have to put less emphasis on it. You just run through it. This has been Consume Content, where we help you consume content. We hope you'll consume this content.
Awesome. Goodbye, everyone.